Now, while navigating with J, K, and L, you can actually easily find your in points and out points for a video, right? And we do the same thing that we used to do with a Final Cut, which is positioning the. You see the cursor here is the cursor here is moving. So let's say that I want to position. I want to find a spot where this person hasn't yet entered the frame, and I find my endpoint there. I hit I. Same thing with done with Final Cut. And then I stop when she takes off her jacket, and I place my out point, which is the O. So JKL to move forward, backward, and stop, and IO to put your in points and an out point. Now, these two buttons are important: the Splice in button and the override button. The Splice in button will take your footage, put it in the timeline, and make room if there's any footage here, splicing in whatever it is to put the footage that you've selected in your viewer in the timeline in between whatever footage you have. The override button will actually superimpose whatever footage you have in your composer on the timeline. So for now, I'm going to click the override. You notice that the video 1, the audio 1, and the audio 2 are activated. If I deactivate any of this, for instance, if I deactivate the audio 1 and the audio 2, the override will only take my video from the composer to the timeline. And if I, let's say, only activate the audio 1 and audio 2, my the result will be the same, but without the video and only with the audio. So let's do an override. Okay, and I have here my first sequence. Now, if these are different action tools that I will explain in a later video. But let's say that you want to select this entire sequence. You use this red arrow. You see here segment mode as lift and override, but you can select the entire segment. And with Command K, for instance, you can make it smaller, and with Command L, you can make this larger. So that will give you some more space to work on, for instance, smaller edits. So I have my first edit here, and if you try to move, well, you can actually browse, you can actually scrub up and down your timeline, and you will notice that whatever happens in the timeline here is replicated in this window. Okay, and the other thing that you would notice is that the sequence that you're working on has been created here in your bin, and is called untitled sequence. Now, let's say that you wanted to create a new bin for the sequences, or you would want to use this footage window bin as just for sequences, and create another bin for the rest of your footage. You just can create a new project bin. Let's say raw footage. You can add it to your other window, and you can actually copy and move this clips to your next window. So you have your footage window, which can rename it sequence, and you see it here. Command S will save it, and your raw footage window, which now has the raw footage.